Hey, everybody, I'm Monty. This is the Shareholders podcast. I want to thank you for investing your time. This is the start of season 2, y'all. And I want to thank you, man. God is good, man. Y'all been a blessing to me. The support, I can't tell you, man, how much it's meant. But listen, I'm okay. Enough with that. Y'all, you don't maybe notice about me, but probably for the last 6 years, every night when I go to bed, I have the TV on. I put the TV about 30 minutes while I'm getting to bed. And I put on a show, it's called 30 Rock. Every night without fail. And before that, I watched every episode. I've probably seen the full season of the show at least 25 times. I saw there was a podcast. I always check new podcasts popping up, you know who's doing what. I'm trying to learn some things. And I seen one of the members of the show had his own podcast. And so I really enjoyed it. And then I said, let me step out of faith, just see, I asked him if he had any time. He was very gracious to come on. If you are a fan and you see him right here, you already know who it is. You're like, whoa, you didn't pull Grizz. Yes, Mr. Grizz Chapman.
Out the hat. What's good?
How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I've been fighting through this New York traffic, but it's all good, man. We here. We got something. We here.
Man, y'all, Grizz is on my show. I cannot believe it. So for those of you who don't know, 30 Rock was a show that it was based kind of like on a Saturday Night Live type of thing. And it was started by Tina Fey, Alec Baldwin, Tracy Morgan was on there. So many great actors and things like that. And my guest, of course, and I'm going to immediately start asking him some questions, but he was part of Tracy's entourage. Tracy Jordan was the movie star. It was a very funny way they did the show because you didn't always know if Tracy Morgan was playing Tracy Jordan and Tracy Jordan was playing Tracy Morgan. And some of the entourage guys, it started out like a lot of guys, and then it kind of became two. It became Grizz.com. And if you're a fan of the show, you loved anything they did because it's just the timing and the comedic timing of it was so great. And the show just became its own thing. So I just want to ask you, first of all, sir, how did you even get that role of becoming Grizz for the 30 Rock show?
Well, the funny thing about it was I was a bodyguard for a long time, and I was actually on tour with Cat Williams when I got the call. So they was like, we're doing this untitled show. Would you like to audition for it? And at first, I was like, I'm in LA, palm trees, I'm chilling. I'm making good money. Something just told me, was like, you know what, take a chance. So I looked to try to book a ticket, and the ticket was like $800-900 at the last minute to come back home. So I was like, do I really want to, come back for $900? Then I'm like, you know what, let me not think about the money. Let me just go. So I went, did the audition. And it was maybe one of the easiest auditions I've ever done in my life. I walked in the room. God bless Steve. He passed away, but the guy who actually, provided me an opportunity to get the job, Steve was doing the auditions, and he just told me to write my name on a piece of paper. I shook his hand, and that was it. And I didn't hear back from the show to almost a year later.
Wow.
And, even when they hit me back a year later, I was still on tour with Cat Williams a year later, and then at that point they was like, well, are you still interested in the show? And I'm like, I'm on tour, I'm doing this. And then, then I approached Cat. I was like, yo, listen, man, I got an opportunity to do this TV show, but I still want to be out here with you guys. Can we work something out? And he looked me in my face. He's like, yo, listen, man, go for it. You know what I'm saying? We'll be here. And, so a lot of people don't know, in the beginning of 30 Rock, I was flying back and forth. I was flying back and forth from New York to LA because I was on tour with Cat, and then we were shooting at Silver Cup Studios in New York.
Wow. Okay. So then when they first give you the scripts and stuff, were you really going to be kind of like a long-term thing, were they thinking, or was it like, let's just see maybe from the pilot how it's going to go with these guys in the chemistry, or did they really have you in .com written for stuff?
Well, in the beginning, I truly think they didn't know what they were going to do. I
Yeah.
think it was just a situation where Tina had a show, and she had this amazing cast of characters. She had all of these ideas that was in her head, and she was trying to get them out little by little. And then it boiled down to, as you said, it was four of us in the beginning. We were called a posse,
Mm-hmm.
and that really just boiled down to money, dollars and cents. So NBC was like, well, listen, we're not going to pay four guys. You got to pick two of the four who y'all want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So Tracy and Tina was like, we'll keep Grizz.com, and that's how we got a chance to stay on the show. So it was definitely a blessing. It was definitely God who made that choice, but it could have went any way. You know what I'm saying? It could have been the other two gentlemen who were also there in our position. So it really could have been either which way. But I think what solidified why they picked us is because we were just a little bit different than, out of the four, we were the two that were a little bit different. And we had better history with Tracy, like individually.
Mm-hmm.
.com had history, and I had history individually with Tracy Morgan
Oh, I see. Okay.
on separate occasions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know .com didn't know me, but we both knew Tracy together.
Yeah. So now working on a network show is that's a thrill and that's a privilege that most people will never understand. But can you actually give us maybe something that you did not have any idea about? Like, wow, okay, we do it like this. And then maybe something that you really just loved. I mean, I know you loved all the people and all that, but just I'm talking about the inner workings of it. It's some things that maybe surprised you, and some things you're like, okay, I'm with it like that.
Well, in the beginning, I was green. You know what I mean? Because I went straight from. I tell people all the time, I went straight from public school straight to college. You know what I'm saying? I was straight to Yale. I was straight to Morehouse. I was like with the elite.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when you're around the elite, nobody's going to tell you what you're supposed to do because you're with the elite. So at that point, you're supposed to already know what to do.
Yeah.
But I was in an unfortunate situation. I was in a unfortunate situation because I was learning as I went. So where I lost in a lot of ways, I gained in other ways. You know what I'm saying? So in the beginning, I didn't know in the beginning not to look down the barrel of the camera. You know what I'm saying? And I found that out just by listening when I was on set. And I didn't go to class. I didn't go to school in the beginning because I went, like I said, I was doing security. I did some music videos. I did some plays. I did some things, but nothing to the point where I was that seasoned at that point.
Mhm.
I was kind of pushed in a position to say, either you're going to swim or you're going to drown. So I chose to swim, but I I swallowed a bunch of water along the way.
Yeah. But it's interesting how you say that, because many times we might feel like if it's of our own accord, man, I ain't ready yet. Let me go study. Let me go with that. But like you said, you literally got put into it, and you might have actually done some more things that you didn't know you could do. It's like when I watched the show, from season 1 to like maybe season 4, you do seem very much more comfortable. And I mean, they're giving you a few more lines and stuff, but even, man, I didn't watch the show so much. I know y'all movements, I know the breaks. And it's like, I always wondered, I was like, man, so was this something you ever truly aspired to be, was an actor? Or were you just kind of like, if it comes, it comes, and but is this part of your dream to be an actor?
Well, my dream itself was just to be an entertainer. You know,
Uh-huh.
like I always wanted to be an entertainer. Did I know it was going to be in acting? Did I know it was going to be in music? I had no idea at that point. But I knew I wanted to entertain people. You know what I'm saying? Just as a kid, I would sing to myself. I'd be in my room talking to myself, just all the crazy things that kids do when they're alone. Because I grew up alone. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up, my mother's a single mother.
Yeah.
I was by myself. Whatever, whatever. So, but no, when I first started 30 Rock, did I want to be an actor? No. Was I thrown into a situation where, um, it was like, all right, well, do this. I was like, yeah. And then when I initially I tried it, I realized how hard it was and how challenging it was. And that's what made me stay in it, because it challenged me in so many different ways. And I liked the fact that it challenged me. And I didn't want to give up. I didn't want people to think that I wasn't cut out for it, or prepared for it. Or, you hear that, yeah, he had opportunity to be on the show, but he didn't stay on the show because he couldn't remember his lines, or he couldn't do it, or he couldn't, I didn't want that. So once I got in, um that's when I started taking it more serious. I took improv classes, and I did my due diligence inside the industry itself to learn. But it took me some time to learn, though, the ins and outs of, especially the business part, because
Yeah.
like I said in the beginning, they're not going to tell you the business. They're just gonna, unfortunately, they're gonna take advantage of you until you know the business side of it. So unfortunately, I didn't figure out the business till about the fourth season.
Wow.
So by the time the fourth season came around, I figured out the business part of it.
Yeah.
So
That's okay. Well, that's interesting because again, this is the podcast. I interview a lot of people in business and in careers, and they all have that universal thing you just said. At some point, you had to start really investing in your craft, whatever you're doing. You're an architect, you're an actor, you're an athlete, and it's great to hear you say how you even took improv classes and things like that and stuff. So, but speaking on the business though, because I think people feel like, oh, he's on TV, so he got money. You know what I'm saying? Or everything's going great for them. But I've heard rappers say, "Man, I was doing videos, I wasn't getting paid and stuff like that." Like,
man, listen, I made more money being on tour with Cat Williams.
see,
But the very first season, I can't speak for everybody, but I made $135 a day. You know what I'm
wow,
saying? And that's no money considering what we were asked to do. But the opportunity was so crazy, you kind of don't fight it. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? You kind of just sit there, and I think once I got over being happy to be there.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Because you go through a period of time where you're just happy to be there. I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. And at some point, I had to realize that my talent is keeping me here. So I'm not just happy to be here.
yeah,
And now you got to learn the business. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I learned the business a little bit late. You know what I'm saying? But I still learned. And you know, could I have made a little bit more money if I would have known the business earlier? Yeah. But um and that being said, I walked away with a valuable lesson in life. You know what I'm saying? Is no matter what you want to do, no matter what career, no matter if you want to be a garbage man, make sure you know the business
yes,
of what you're trying to get into, no matter what it is, because they will take advantage of you. And that's what they did. They took advantage of me. But I'm not bitter for them taking advantage of me because they did what they were supposed to do.
mm,
That's the business.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's up to you to learn the business.
Today's episode of the Shareholders Podcast is brought to you by Mr. Chris M. Webb. He is running for city council in the city of Whitehall, Ohio, but more importantly, he is a political consultant, and he is here to help you with any questions or concerns you might have in these strange strange political times. You can check him out at Chris M. Webb on Instagram or at the same handle, Chris M. Webb, on Twitter. He's also at Chris Webb on Facebook. If you're a young person or an older person and you have questions and concerns about what's going on, or if you're thinking about running for office, he is a great person to talk to. He is offering his services for free. As of right now, the price might go up. We don't know. But for right now, you can take advantage of his information. He is very knowledgeable and he's willing to help. Doesn't matter what side you're on or anything like that. Check him out if you have any questions on what it takes to run for office, what it takes to get a campaign going. You can check him out. Or if you just have questions and want to holler at him, Chris M. Webb. He is my cousin. I vouch for him. All right, check him out.
Man, I mean, you're making it as plain as you can hear it, y'all, and watch it right there. I mean, whatever you're doing, learn the business of your
Learn the
company,
business, because at the end of the day, I hear, oh, Tracy, he should do this for you. Tracy should do this for you. Tracy shouldn't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, Tracy is what he's supposed to do for him. I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do for me. And that's it. And I can't be mad at Tracy for what he don't do for me.
Yeah.
How? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I had an opportunity to work with him. It was a beautiful experience. Life goes on. That's it. He doesn't owe me a career.
Man, I love hearing you say that, man, because I feel like a lot of people would do that. Like, oh man, you doing this, Tracy. What about your boy? I don't like that whole hook me up thing. I mean,
Listen. Would it be nice? Yes,
I was about to say, yeah.
It would be nice, but Tracy don't owe me nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He absolutely owes me nothing. You know what I mean? And I can't sit in my house expecting something from him.
Yeah.
I can't.
But that's the mentality to have. I mean, I feel like you get blessed more when you have that mentality instead of always looking for somebody to do something for you. I mean, everybody needs help, of course, but you just told us, learn your business, learn your craft. You help yourself.
But in the same token, that also comes with growth too, because when I tell you a little story, when we first got our Emmy award, and I think it was either our Emmy or my SAG award. So I never been in this position before. So I called Trey. I was like, yo, listen, man, I want to walk the red carpet with you. I want to get in the limo with you, this, that, and the third. Now, mind you, NBC provided limos for everybody. So I had my own limo. I had my own way to get there. I wasn't begging to get in his car because I didn't have a way to get there. But I was just afraid.
Yeah.
So the morning of the show, he calls me. He goes, yo, I'm doing something else, yo. You can't walk with me. And I was like, what you mean I can't walk with you? He said, nah, you can't walk with me, dude. Like, I'm not doing that. And then he was like, is this what you want to do? And I said, yeah. And he was like, yo, then go get your fans. America loves you. And that was it. And he hung up the phone on me. He could have walked the red carpet with me, but then I thought about it. He's right. You know what I'm saying? If this is what I want to do, I have to go get my own fans. He can't be there with me to hold my hand through this. He can't make America like me. I got to make America like me. So from then, it was just a lesson learned. So I say all that to say, it took maturity it came along with maturity. I didn't just think that way in the beginning. Yeah. It came with maturity.
Man, this is the Shareholders Podcast. I'm talking with Mr. Grizz Chapman today, star of 30 Rock, and there's already been some great gems he's dropped on us. So let me ask you, man, do you have a favorite moment just from the show, just that you look back on, or a favorite episode, whatever? I mean, something that you really look back with fondness and good memories?
I would have to say two favorite moments that I had on the show. And I have a bunch, but a couple of moments in my that resonated for me was when we went on a writer's strike, and Tina Fey called a meeting,
Mm.
and she explained to us why we were going on strike, and she didn't have to do that. We could have just went on strike, and she could have went about her business. But for her to take the time out to say, well, listen, I understand you guys, you need your money, this and the third, but this is what we're fighting for, and this is why we're going on strike. I respected that. This was a little bit later on in my career. I would notice that if I would flub in the table read, if I would flub, I would come back and my lines would be cut and my lines would be gone.
Mm.
So one day I said, yo, why every time, we do the table read and then, I come back, my lines is gone. He was, and then I said, is it because I flubbed over the words? And he was like, yes. So then that taught me another lesson. Be prepared.
Mm.
Be prepared no matter when, why, whatever. Be prepared because they gave you opportunity. Now you just gotta, and there's no flubbing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
No matter if it is or what or whatever, there's no flubbing. You're better off flubbing while you're filming than flubbing in the table read.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. That's amazing. So, now in transitioning, I mean, you are an actor and you've had some other roles, but we also know pandemic. I mean, a lot of things have been shifted and stuff with projects, and movie industry has really been hit hard. How do you feel though? The entertainment industry, I mean, concerts, all this stuff. You know what I mean? Sports has really been affected.
Honestly, I think it's over. I think it's a wrap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's over. The studios are doing everything possible to keep the actors safe
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic. But one thing that you gotta realize that the studios and all these places, they get money from food. They get money from the theaters. So now those theaters are not there. So now how can you pay a Will Smith or Denzel Washington X amount of dollars to do a film that they're not going to recoup the money back from?
Yeah.
Think about all the money lost for Wonder Woman. Lost. They'll never get that money back. So I think for right now is over. Are we going to still see TV? Yes. Is it going to take a dramatic change? Yes. Is it going to take a turn that we're probably not going to be happy with? Yes. Do I think the theaters are coming back? No. Because I think overall people are afraid
Mm-hmm.
to go in a room filled with people who that could possibly be sick. Now, hopefully, with this vaccination, and at no point am I telling people to run out and take the vaccination. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But hopefully, with things that they're putting in place, hopefully, we can go back to some sense of normalcy. But I think as far as theater and all that other stuff, I think it's over. I think people are going to be too afraid to be on top of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's I kind of agree. I've had a very long view about this. I think everybody wants to we back, but
And even now, like when I watch some of my favorite shows, like I like what is that the court show with the young black lady on Channel 2. Excuse me, I forgot her name. I watch the show every week, but I see how they have the plastic panels in between the people while they're filming.
oh, okay, yeah.
How long can that go? How
Right.
about when we do an action film? How about when we do a kissing scene? How about when we do, so so many different elements that are not there that we're working around, but it's going to be difficult. Even like when we did our reunion show, it crushed me not being able to see my fellow
Yeah.
classmates. You know what I'm saying? And to actually go in a room and actually work off each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a total difference when we're doing a video call opposed to actually being in a room with each other and bouncing the energy off each other.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Man, yeah. And I did love that reunion show that y'all even did it, but it was different, it was just the way we had to do things. Man, don't want to take up too much more of your time, sir, but I was going to ask you.
I mean, we here, man. I mean, let's get it in.
As well. So now you have your own show, you have your own podcast. What made you want to even start doing that? Like, what was the impetus for that?
Well, I've had that idea for a long time to do a podcast because I have a lot of interesting friends.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do something where I can give people an opportunity to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Because I do like music, I like art, I like so many different things, and we're in a position now where people just the outlet that people had before they don't have anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like we had, the lyricist lounges, we had the open mics, we had, certain things where people can go and be heard and seen. And that's not the case right now. So I figured that I could mix it with a couple of my celebrity friends, and then I could do a spotlight on the Black business. I could do a spotlight on comedy. I could do a spotlight on music, and then turn around and then bring back in one of my celebrity friends. And then we do another spotlight on music. We do a spotlight on something else. We spotlight people out there that really, really need to be heard. And it's nothing wrong with connecting one person with another person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just absolutely nothing wrong with it. So I was looking for a co-host for a long time, and everybody that I wanted to do it with either told me no or wasn't really with it. So then I met a young lady named Shawnee, and her vibe and her energy was just so crazy. And I was like, yo, you want to do a podcast with me? She was like, what? Me? And then, she was like, you don't want to, you don't want to, try me out. You don't want to, no, I don't want to try you. Let's just go.
Yeah.
So when she said yes, our first interview was Method Man. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I kind of put her on the spot, but I think she handled it well. And I truly believe I love her vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I think we got something special there on that show.
It is. I host this show by myself, but I have a music show and I have a co-host. It was the same kind of thing, just out of the blue. We got together, we got great chemistry. You guys, I thought y'all was friends for like forever. I mean, the way you have.
I just met her. Like
crazy.
We've probably been friends maybe 3-4 months.
It's I mean, it's really great. And
the funny thing is we met over Zoom. So we physically didn't meet each other until like our 3rd or 4th interview.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like physically, like looking at each other.
Yeah.
3rd or 4th interview. And
from her perspective, it would be intimidating. Like your first interview is Method Man, and you know what I'm saying, and you just jumping into the fire. But I couldn't tell. I mean, I watched that one. I thought she was great.
She's seasoned in her own right. She has her own show. She has a cooking show. She has a woman's health. I don't want to say women's health, but she helps women with relationships, quotes, and I don't want to say it wrong, quote it wrong, but she gives relationship advice for women.
Yeah.
And she has her own podcast. She has her own cooking show. So she's already been doing it. She's already got her own following. She got her own fans. So she's already doing it. It was just, I just put her in a different light.
Yeah.
That's all. Just put her in a little bit of different light.
So I want to ask you too, very quick, a little off topic, but I hear the accent. So New York.
Yes, New York, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. All right. Man, the Nets. KD and you got KD, you got.
They're still gonna lose.
I want to ask you this, and I'm so glad you said Brooklyn. I didn't know I wanted to ask. I should have did my research better, but they come to Brooklyn from New Jersey, and they're trying to build a market there. But from all that I know, from anybody I ever knew from New York, you got Yankees, Mets, you got the Islanders, you got the Rangers, blah, blah, but it's always the Knicks. It's always been the Knicks. Don't say nothing else, Knicks. But now you have the Nets trying to bring some stars in. Do you think they could ever carve a niche out?
No, the only way the Nets will even put a cup of water into the garden, they would have to win a championship. I don't care how bad the Knicks are.
Yeah.
The Knicks have history,
Yes.
and there's no beating that history. I don't care. And Kyrie and KD, they too soft for New York. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
They're too soft.
See, that's
They're not tough enough. They don't have that New York edge.
yeah.
And as much as a New Yorker would love to have them here, if you ask a real New Yorker, they know they soft. But they just hype because they win in a couple of games, which they're really not winning.
Not no more. Yeah.
They're still losing.
They struggling again. And
them dudes are soft.
yeah. I mean, the Knicks is actually looking pretty good. I didn't even know the Knicks was like 4-2, 4-3. I'm like, but
that's just them not used to winning.
But that's amazing you say that, because I've always been a fan of the city of New York, and I got to really spend some time there last summer. Knowing what I know now, I wish I would have done more before the pandemic. I enjoyed it so much, but just the flavor of the city and the sports scene is so heavy. Like I'm in Las Vegas, and they finally given us a few teams, and I'm representing the hockey team, and so let me tell you this: the Raiders came, right? Now, you don't know this about me. I'm a big 49er fan, and so that's beef right there, Bay Area. But the hockey team is an original team. I'm not with the Raiders, because the Raiders is a transplant. They're going to be here, and they're going to leave us like they leave Oakland, they leave LA. And I don't understand. Like, I got guys in the barbershop like, yeah, I used to like the Bears, but now I'm with the Raiders. Like, that's not how loyalty works. You have to be, you just can't jump because they here. Like, the Raiders ain't, I'm like, the hockey team is our team because they started here. Like, I'm old school like that, and it feels like you got the old school as well, because I would be shocked if you was about to say you was riding with the Brooklyn Nets over, even though you're from Brooklyn.
No, I'm actually a Laker fan. But people
really?
Yeah, I'm a big time Laker fan. Always been. You know what I'm saying? And well, really, technically, I have to break this down because my friends is gonna kill me. Technically, Shaq is my boy 100%. So
yeah,
I followed Shaq all the way from San Antonio, you know what I'm saying, when he was playing high school ball. So from wherever he went, I was there. The only time I didn't ride with him was when we went to Miami. I was still a Laker fan.
Yeah.
And I was rooting for both of them. But when he went over there, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah. That's but,
he won. He won. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say that I was ecstatic about it. I wish he would have. I felt better if he would have won in Orlando and then in LA. I think it just would have felt better than Miami. It was just something about Miami. I was like, yeah, you got it. But
so was the Laker thing being in LA? Was that just from your time in LA? You kind of glammed onto the Lakers?
Well, it was a little bit of that too. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of that. But like I said, my stake, my claim would have to be that I've been following such a big Shaq fan.
Yeah.
From when he played high school ball. I just followed him all the way through LSU, all the way, straight through it. It was my boy. So whatever team he was on, I'm riding.
Yeah, well,
I'm riding.
Can't disagree with that, man. I've enjoyed my time with Mr. Chapman today. I'll just tell you guys, I love the whole, you guys had a little mini story thing, you and Liz Lemon, when y'all gotta watch. It's the episode where Kenneth had a party. That's where it started at. Everything went haywire. Liz and Grizz hooked up, and then one of my favorite lines you say, you come into her office to talk to her about something, and
let it go.
It's so great, and it's one of the best parts about that show, man. I loved it so much, man. I appreciate the time. But real quick, please let people know where to find your podcast and all that as well.
Okay, well, my podcast comes out every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. We are Underdog, UNDADOGPC. Check us out. We on Instagram. On Instagram is Grizz 30 Rock still. It just I never got rid of it.
Yeah.
It stuck, so I just left it. You know what I mean? And you know, come take this ride with us. Come check us out. We have some good people coming up too.
Yeah. No. See, he know folk, y'all. I'm still trying to come up. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. People still recognize you as Grizz from 30 Rock? I mean,
well, most of the time, I'm still in the bricks. So
yeah.
I still walk the regular streets. So like when they see me, they like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, I'm buying a slice of pizza like you. It just I think what gets kind of weird for me if I'm somewhere and they don't speak, but they'll put me on Twitter and they'll be like, Grizz is in the supermarket buying bread. Like I think that's like weird.
Yeah.
Like I went to a football game and people taking a picture from me behind and tweeting it to me. And I felt that was like spooky to me, opposed to just saying like, yo, what up? What's good? How you? Whatever. You know what I mean? I think just holler at the kid. You know what I mean? You never know what you're gonna get.
Man, okay, so I know I'm about to let you go, but you just touched on something because you said you were security for Cat Williams and things like that. And y'all know how it is. Most of the time, you just see a big security guy, you're not looking at him good. So you kind of go from in the shadows to a network hits, Emmy-winning show. Like everybody knows you. Like,
well, I was always a star, even before TV.
Well, I mean, so you're used to the celebrity then, right?
Yeah, I was always a star, man. This sunshine ain't new. You
Right.
They've been shining on me since I was born, baby.
Okay, so it ain't nothing for you. Okay, it ain't nothing for you.
I've been a star, baby.
See, so there you go. You answered my question there. You know what I'm saying?
My last name is Chapman, baby.
So, I mean, you see that, y'all? He just told you he didn't give you gems. He told you how to handle the spotlight. Man, I appreciate the time, sir. I want you to be blessed, you and yours, and be definitely checking out that podcast, y'all, because he's got some good guests. I mean, if you're a 30 Rock fan, he had Tina Fey on. So, I mean, what else do you need to know?
Yeah, we had Judah Freeland that was on.
Oh, well, that's right. Yeah, Judah.
Scott Aston is coming up. We got a few people coming up.
This is awesome.
Coming up also.
Oh, bet. So, I mean, two for gonna be on the show. So y'all know, I mean, we got to check that out as well. So please check him out. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much for being on the Shareholders Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.